Hey guys, this is the Headphone X Tangzu Wan'er S.G, yet another collab between two extremely popular brands in their own right. Now, if you're coming from the OG Wan'er S.G or Gen 1, it is a big upgrade and a win for most of us. But if you're coming from the SG2, then this has left literally everything unchanged apart from the facelift, and well, that may be for the best. Alright, let me explain. Now, as for the unboxing experience, it comes in its typical medium-sized packaging, and of course this time around we get an Indian motif on the cover, and inside the box we get this card with the same Indian motif, and you can cue the stereotypical sitar sound. There we go. Numerous pairs of different size silicone ear tips, as well as numerous pairs of different size Tang Sankai ear tips. You get the oxygen-free copper silver plated cable that have 2-pin connectors on one end. Now, the version I have comes with an inline microphone with a multifunction control button, and it ends in a 3.5mm stereo jack. And of course you get the Headphone X Tangzu Wan'er S.G in-ear monitors themselves. Now, in terms of the specs, it is identical to the OG Wan'er S.G 2nd Gen with a single dynamic driver with an impedance of about 19 ohms and a sensitivity of 113 decibels. So to make sure they sound their best, it's best to pair them with a portable DAC. Now, you are free to choose whichever portable DAC that you want depending on your budget, and it's just that these portable DACs will make sure that your in-ear monitors can perform to their full potential without leaving any volume or quality in the tank. Basically, they'll sound as good as they possibly can. And as always, the ones that I personally use will all be linked in the description below. Alright, let's talk about the build and appearance of these. Now, when it comes to the build, these are full-on resin and the feel is okay. Not premium, but not too cheap as well. They are lightweight, so they don't weigh down your ears during extended listening sessions, and the fit is quite snug, especially with the Tang Sankai ear tips. The star of the show, however, is obviously its appearance, which honestly is orders of magnitude better than the OG Wan'er S.G 2nd Gen. This regal blue resin shell coupled with the gold inlays under the faceplate truly bring out a royal Indian aesthetic that are an absolute treat for the eyes. And of course, they also come with their premium Tang Sankai ear tips that are wide bore, and they just feel better and make the sound more spacious in my opinion. So again, a definite upgrade over the OG or Gen 1 Wan'er S.G. Alright, now with all the glam and glitter out of the way, let's talk about the audio quality. Now, this is where things remain unchanged, and as I mentioned in the intro, this may be for the best. The saying that if it ain't broke, don't fix it holds true for this pair, because you see, the reason the Tangzu Wan'er S.G and the Wan'er SG2 are so popular is specifically because of the tuning they offer, and that is what the users swear by. Now, as you know, sound is made up of 3 major frequencies: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs, or the treble response, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids, where the vocals are, and the low end, or the bass response. So if I had to break down the sound, here is how it would go. Starting off with the treble response or the high frequencies, the treble response is sparkly with a good emphasis on the ultra high frequencies. This makes the treble quite airy and makes instruments like crashes and cymbals really pop. However, it lacks heft in the rendition of the high frequencies, making them sound a bit harsh, especially for treble-sensitive individuals. But purely from a treble head perspective and for casual listening, this absolutely nails it. As for the mid frequencies or the vocals, now again, as with the OG Wan'er SG2, the upper mids get an emphasis that makes vocals sound bright and upfront. However, I have always found the vocals to sound a bit thin and shouty at higher volumes, but that's just me and my ears. In general, users really enjoy the vocals on these due to the preference they get, which aligns with their taste. Instruments in the mid-range exhibit clarity and acceptable separation, but lack the warmth and depth of the lower mids. So what they offer in clarity, they lack in depth and richness to a certain degree. And as for the low end or the bass response, it is a good mix of the mid-bass slam and some sub-low rumble. So this offers mostly a thumpy mid-bass punch with bits of sub-low rumble depending on the track. The texture of the bass could definitely use some improvement. It's not the fastest, and it left me wanting more depth from the ultra-low frequencies. The bass is adequate for someone who wants to use this pair mainly for listening to vocals, but this is definitely not for a bass head. So overall, the tuning is quite literally the same as the OG Wan'er SG2, and if you love that, you'll absolutely love this as well. The soundstage is decent, not too wide nor too tight. Imaging is also acceptable and can work for casual gaming as well. Alright guys, just to summarize. Now if you're already an owner of the 2nd gen Tangzu Wan'er S.G, then there is no reason for you to get this, because ultimately it is identical apart from this looking far better. Now obviously if looks matter to you, you can obviously get this as a collector's item, but in terms of sonic performance, it's nothing different. However, if you are someone who's using the OG Tangzu Wan'er S.G or Gen 1, then this is definitely an upgrade. It looks better, it has better cable quality, the Tang Sankai ear tips is a very thoughtful and meaningful inclusion, and overall it is a meaningful upgrade. And if there ever was a win-win for us consumers, this is it. So there you have it guys, that was my review of the Headphone Zone X Tangzu Wan'er SG2. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have any further questions regarding this, do hit me up in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them. As always, the link to this, the DACs, many other audio accessories will be placed in the description for your convenience, and I would really appreciate if you use those links to make your purchase, as that would help me run this channel and I can produce more such high quality and helpful content just for you guys. So thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.